We want to support designers that are going to be the future of American fashion.
Every major designer in the last 10 years has gone through this program.
The Fashion Fund for us was really the launch pad. We are the only people that have been in the fund, mentored on the fund and judged the fund.
I mean, it's kind of like the art world in a way. You've got to back people who are going to be not just flavour of the moment, but historically important. In an ideal world, every Fashion Fund finalist would go on to be wildly successful, either critically or commercially or both.
And then the other one, actually, I kind of liked was Parabellum, this two guys that have a leather goods line in Los Angeles. And I don't know, they sound like real characters.
What do you mean? Like, we don't need no more insane ones, please.
Yeah, his cool. He had a very specific point of view. We had 5 portfolios to look at. I put Tome forward.
I thought the Tome thing resonated with us because it's two guys with not a lot in New York, doing it all in New York.
Is it more menswear?
With no one there. No, it's women's wear.
Yeah.
The very, very early origins of Rag & Bone were not anything that specific. We came up with Rag & Bone because you both probably remember growing up with Rag & Bone men who used to come around. But first and foremost, it's a cool name. We thought it was a cool name. He wanted to call it Rags and Bones. I railed against that for a while. It was a tough argument. I remember that. It's not easy coming up with a name because our surnames are rubbish. Wainwright. I mean, it just doesn't. It's not. You don't want to go like. It's not very Gucci.
We didn't have an employee until the middle of 2006. We got our first employee just before we did the fund.
We got a call saying, are you going to apply for the Vogue Fashion Fund? And I don't really know if I knew what that was at that point. But we did an application. We filled it all out. Our first lookbook shoot was at the back of my car in Brooklyn with one of the first ever like miniature digital cameras of him against the wall. I still got the picture somewhere.
I think we actually got in based on the menswear angle because the fund wanted at least one menswear participant. And it's interesting now because our business is so developed in men's and women's. But the Fashion Fund for us was really the launch pad.
What did you guys think of Edie Parker?
To me, it just seemed very specific and it's like evening clutches and that's it.
There's no one doing it.
Throughout the whole process, it's like, what are you judging? Are you judging just an artistic and a creative angle, or are you judging what you think may be a sustainable business? There isn't really anyone in this current crop that stands out as having commercially already a more developed business. They're all very green is kind of what I'm trying to say. I think that we brought a particular perspective based on the fact that we are actually the only people that have been in the fund, mentored on the fund and judged the fund. And I do think that we do have a much more intimate idea of what these guys are actually going through, given our experiences in the last 10 years. I mean, when you look at the other panelists, they've all got their own perspectives, but none of them have even been in the position that these brands are in as young companies trying to forge ahead. So I think that we're probably just a lot more sensitive to some of that and maybe have more perspective to some of the challenges that they are currently facing.
We are going to now introduce the 10 nominees. Mark Allery of Mark Allery Jewelry.
Misha Nonu.
Ryan Lobo and Ramon Martin of Tome.
Tim Copens for menswear.
Veronica Beard.
Juan Carlos Abando
of Avadia & Son.
Parabellum.
Public School.
And Todd Snyder of Todd Snyder for menswear.
It's going to be an incredible experience. It's a pretty nerve-wracking situation. I mean, it's 8:30 at Vogue. There are 10 amazing judges. Don't drink too much coffee.